Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Alicia Shelley for the Thrive for Life Facebook Live on Monday nights. So, today we're going to be discussing meal prepping. I know you're like, wait a minute, I've always wanted to know about meal prepping because this is so important. So, I'm so glad to be able to talk to you about it and kind of explain the ins and outs, and then also discuss the 3 mistakes people make while meal prepping. Now, for those, this may be your first time here. You may not know who I am, but oops, there we go. All right. Here's a little bit more about me. My name is Dr. Alicia Shelley. I'm a board certified internal medicine and obesity medicine physician, and I work outside of Atlanta, Georgia, in the suburbs, and also the host of the Back on Track Overcoming Weight Regain podcast and YouTube channel. And I specialize in helping people not only lose weight, maintain weight, and do it within their busy lifestyles. So I'm here to help you be the best version of you that you can be. So, without further ado, let's talk about the meal prep. Meal prep. Now, before we get there, let's just go back and talk about why this is so important. I have to admit, when I think about when I'm completely on with my diet, when I'm more consistent with what I'm eating, I'm seeing myself lose weight, it's because I'm meal prepping. It's because I know what I'm going to eat throughout the week. I don't have to guess. I don't have to sit here and wonder, oh, what am I going to eat? And do I need to go and eat fast food? So it really, really helps to know exactly what you're going to eat. And I find that I lose more weight when I meal prep. So that's why it's important, and that's why you should implement this in your lifestyle. Now let's talk about the 3 mistakes that people make. Now, the first mistake is that people forget to plan your meals. So you may think this is counterintuitive. We're meal prepping. But a lot of times people just kind of in their minds think, okay, I guess Monday we'll eat this, Tuesday we'll eat that. Now, for me, I'm one of these people that likes to just eat one meal throughout the day, throughout the week, and then I'm good. I know what I eat for breakfast, I know what I eat for lunch, I know what I eat for dinner, and I'm fine. But other people like to change it up. They get bored with it. So they decide to eat a meal maybe 1 or 2 days and then change it up to another day. And that's okay. It's just make sure you write it down. Write it down. So make sure that you plan. And so how I like to do it is I'll sit down on like a Sunday where I have more time, and I'll write down Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I'll write down what I'm going to eat throughout that day and what snacks I'm going to eat. And then based on that planner, I'll go ahead and create my grocery list. And with my grocery list, I know exactly what I'm going to eat. And so it makes it a lot easier when I go to the grocery store because I'm not going into aisles that I don't need. A lot of times with the grocery store, how they are set up, you may have noticed this, they have the produce and like the milk on the outside, and then they have all the other stuff like the cookies, the cakes, maybe not the cakes, but the cookies and all the other not so great stuff on the inside of the aisles, the chips and all those type of things. And so a lot of times, if you get used to your local grocery store, you kind of know where things are. And so if you write your list out, you don't have to worry about yourself getting other getting like food that you didn't put on the list. No, because you're going into the right direction. Also, they mostly have the healthier foods on the outside of the grocery. So, a couple tips I would say with grocery shopping is number one, make sure you eat before you go grocery shopping. I don't know about you, but when I'm hungry, I tend to just pick all the stuff. I'm like, oh, I need these cookies. Oh, I need this bread. No, that wasn't on the list. That was not on the list. But because I was hungry, I picked it up. So go to the grocery store, full on a full stomach. And then secondly, make sure you're going into the healthier parts of the grocery store, to the produce, to the milk, the eggs, all that thing on the outside of the grocery store. And so those would be my few tips for how to eat at the grocery store. Now, the second mistake is you don't have the right equipment. So what I use for my salads for lunch is on the right here. It says not sure if you can see this, but it's the glass container. I'm able to put my little salad in there. I build it like when I'm ready. I just put the salad and then I have the other ingredients on the side and just kind of apply it and then voila, I'm done. So I eat my food. The other thing that I use for dinner is kind of this divided container where I have enough for like maybe rice and for my collard greens on the other side. And so you'll see a picture of that. The other thing I would say is that I, for breakfast, love to eat like yogurt with granola. I do this a lot. And so I know I buy my granola, I know that I'm going to eat it. So, in order to make it time, to make the time go by, well, just not, to delay in time, is I put it already in these Ziploc bags. And so I have already measured out the 1/4 cup and I know how many calories that is. And I put it in the Ziploc bag, put it in a container that you can see it. So then I just grab and go, grab and go. And it makes it so much easier in the morning when you're trying to get out the house, but you're like, oh, I gotta put my lunch together. Now one of the times is like because I'll end up leaving my lunch if it's not prepared because I'm trying like, oh, I don't have enough time. And so in my mind, I'm like, I don't have enough time to prepare this. So I'll just go and eat out, which is not very helpful if you're trying to lose weight. So by having that meal prep, having things out, in their particular position, like the granola, it makes it so much easier when you're trying to just grab and go. So this is just kind of my meal prep for lunch. So I have my little kale salad, garbanzo beans. I like the mandarin oranges. It gives me a little sweetness, craisins, and then I have a little praline pecans that I just put on the top. And I love it. I love that salad. It's very filling actually, because the garbanzo beans, that protein that's in it that makes it more filling. But this is just how I go, and then it makes it so much easier. I just grab and go, put it in the bag. We're good. Now, the third mistake that people make is they don't schedule their meal prep. And that's a problem I have as well, because sometimes Sundays can be so busy that I don't have time to be able to actually meal prep. And so if I'm not meal prepping on Sundays, it's kind of hard to like make that up throughout the week. I'm just kind of out of luck, basically. But it's important to schedule it so that you have time for it. And for me, it takes about 2 hours. I'm not the fastest cook. I like to cut, the onions, cut the garlic, and so it takes me a little bit longer to cook. But, as long as you have that, you put that time in, it really makes a huge difference. It really does. And so this was what I was mentioning before, the rice and the collard greens. So I have that. And you can also put a little protein in that as well, especially if you do eat meat. I'm actually a vegetarian, so this is I get my protein from the beans. So let's talk a little bit about challenges, things that kind of stop us from meal prepping. So challenge number one, I don't have enough time to meal prep. That's okay. Like there may be times where you just don't have time to cook, you're busy, you got things to do. And so the one thing I would say is get a meal service. I currently live outside of Atlanta, and there are multiple meal service of people that have, and even for me, a plant-based diet where I can go and get somebody who has a plant-based diet and they'll cook for me and I have my meals for the week and I don't have to worry about it. Sometimes I'll just buy dinner from them and then just eat my salads for the during the day. And I have my little snacks too outlined. So there's a really easy way. Even if you don't have time to meal prep, you can always buy a meal service where they meal prep for you and you can just go. So I always love to delegate, 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 because sometimes you're just too tired. You're just, you don't have enough time. You're just too tired to do it. Also, this other picture is Blue Apron. So if you don't have time to go to the grocery store, Blue Apron will give you all your ingredients and then you can just cook and then you're good to go. But for me, that does take time because you have to cook. You have to cook. And for me, it takes me a little bit longer to cook. All right, challenge number two, eating healthy is too expensive. Eating healthy is too expensive. So with these different images, you see that up here where you have the 2 Big Macs, 2 fries, 4 drinks, a chicken sandwich, 2 other fries, and chicken nuggets, and 4 drinks, it's around $27.99. But if you took that same like 13, it'd be $13 if you had your meat, your potatoes, your greens, your bread, and your drink. So for 13.78. So technically the fast food is more expensive than the other food. And the second image, it said for about $20 you could buy maybe four different burgers, four different drinks, four different fries. Or you can buy you can buy more food with your grillers, your juice, your fruits, your broccoli. So what it tells us is that for $20 you can probably get more food of higher quality than if you were to just go to fast food. So a lot of times with fast food, it's the taste. We love the taste, but it's not very healthy for us. And if we can eat something that's healthy, we would feel better. We'll have more energy. We'll feel ready to go. So definitely don't allow this challenge of, oh, it's too expensive to eat healthy. No, maybe not. It's not. It's not. Now, the other challenge I'm going to say before we continue is not that we don't have enough time, but then the other challenge I was going to say was that people have is I don't know how to cook. I would say if you don't know how to cook, go a meal prep. And then also they have different cooking classes. So if you're looking for like a plant-based diet, there are different cooking classes that you can join that kind of helps you to cook healthier. Also, if you want to go to Pinterest, where they have different like healthy recipes that you can use and try to help. The other challenge that people have is that, oh, my kids don't like to eat healthy, or my husband doesn't like to eat healthy. Well, you know what? You can't change people, unfortunately. You cannot change people. You can only change yourself. But if that's the case, they can eat what they want to eat and you eat what you want to eat. You prepare your meal so you can just grab and go and they eat what they're going to eat. You can't make them eat healthy, but you can choose what you do. And the other thing is I've had patients who have started to eat healthy. I remember this one lady, she was starting to eat healthy and her grandkids started eating her healthy foods. And she was like, wait a minute. I like this fruit. This fruit this fruit is a little bit more expensive. Don't be eating my fruit. But they saw what she was doing and actually started to eat healthy. So you may be really surprised what your kids are looking at, what your husband or spouse is looking at, because what you may find is that you are actually being a better example to them and teaching them how to eat healthy. And they may be following you in your steps. You may not even realize it. So last but not least, how do you implement this in your everyday life? Number one, choose one goal. If it's like, hey, I'm going to meal prep this week, let that be your goal. And or if it's like, okay, hey, I'm going to, make sure I write down my list of grocery stores so I don't buy other stuff, let that be your goal. Whatever the goal it is for you, go ahead and write that down. Next, schedule it into your daily schedule. Thirdly, think about what challenges may come up and then figure out how you're going to overcome it. Because regardless of what we do, there will be challenges, but we just have to be able to overcome. All righty. Well, I'm your host, Dr. Alicia Shelley. I hope this is helpful. The 3 mistakes people make while meal prepping. Feel free if you're actually looking at this in the replay, just put hashtag replay so we see you. And if there's any questions you have, feel free to leave it for me. All right. Until next time. Bye.